Now they hosted on the 40 acres on campus grounds. We gather round, discussing goals and dreams and life's adventures. The Texas Longhorns, they the talk of the town. High castles of the 40 acres, where we dive deep into the game day stories. From touchdowns to heartbreakers, we discuss it all. Texas Longhorns glory. There we gather round each Thursday night, talking sports, it's so alright. From football to basketball, baseball to softball, Tim Wayne and Irish, we cover it all. Sports talk is our passion, our delight. Thursday night at 8:30, we unite. We discuss the scores, the plays, the teams who might. Let's dive into the game, let's ignite.
12 conference champions.
Yo, whoa, there we go. Hey, good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing? Of course, we are back to Texas Longhorn Fan Battle Podcast with, of course, my name is Harish. This is my boy, Tim Wayne. Tim Wayne, how you doing tonight, man?
Listen, man, I'm excited about this weekend, but I also got a bone to pick with the media, man. I ain't even going to sugarcoat it. I'm going to get right into it, baby. Let's go.
Here's the thing, and we'll get right into it. There's a lot going on in the 40 acres today. Basketball season has started. Football season, we got 3 games left. And Texas is in the driver's seat, as we predicted, right? Nothing that has happened this season surprises you. Well, I'll take that back. From a record perspective, nothing that has happened this season surprises you or me.
Right.
Up until this point, Tim Wayne, I think I need to tell you something, my guy.
What's up?
I think we both know what we're talking about because as up until right now, neither of us have had a single game that has been predicted incorrectly.
That's very scary. When I think
I just think I'm just saying. I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn.
I've been very close, if not spot on. What's up, DJ DG?
What up, DJ? How you doing, man? Thanks for coming in. Of course, dropping a comment, drop a like while you're here, and of course, if you are in the Twitterverse, drop us a like there. Come into the YouTube channel. We share comments. We're starting to get some YouTube traffic, which is nice. It's been a journey, so we need your help. But hey, before we get right into it, we've got to pay some bills. Let's go ahead and do that. fanbattlesports.com, where you can get the latest and greatest from the worst division in football right now, the AFC South. You got the Colts who don't know what the hell they're doing. You have the Texans who don't know how to run plays and call games. You've got the Jaguars who also don't know what they're doing, and then you've got the Titans who Yeah, they haven't known what they've been doing for 20, 25 years. So, fanbattlesports.com. And then if you follow us on Twitter, listen, guys, we are stuck. We are stuck. 2875 has been a number we've been at for like 3 weeks now. So if you guys know anybody that follows our content on Twitter, that's where we do most of our damage. That's
Yeah.
where most of the fun happens. Follow us on Twitter. Enjoy all of our fan battle shenanigans. Everything from Tim Wayne's nice things to my shenanigans that
Whoa, nice things. I just don't talk trash like you do.
you do, but I know. That's why I said the nice things.
I mean, is it really nice or is it just
You
mild?
post nice things.
I
You don't post
mean,
nice things, Tim Wayne?
I guess so. In by your terms, yeah.
I'm just saying, man. You post nice things.
Yep.
We've got lots to talk about today, so follow us on Twitter
And TikTok. Make sure you follow us on TikTok,
and
man.
we need to add a banner for TikTok. And then, of course, follow us on YouTube. Come in here, like the show, subscribe, follow us. Comment and like DJ there, our guy DJ, who's avid in here. Comment and we'll share your thoughts that you guys have as we talk through the shows. And listen, we're starting to grow this thing, so let's continue on the growing path and let's
Sure.
follow us on subscribe on YouTube. We really appreciate it. All righty, Tim. Before we get into it, anything else I missed?
No, I do want to say one thing. I know how you're a diehard Colts fan and you do a lot of things with the Horseshoe Mafia, or is it the Mob? My bad.
Mob. We are not a
Horseshoe
mafia.
Mob.
Brutal. We are not a
Mafia. My bad. I don't want to incriminate anybody. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I know you do a lot of. I know you're a diehard Colts fan. You're a diehard or you're a diehard Mavs fan, you're a diehard Colts fan, and you've been preaching to me since I've known you about the Mavericks and how the Mavericks this and the Mavericks that. Because I told you like I don't really have like a favorite team. I do watch a lot of players. I haven't really had a favorite team since that 2013, 2014 Nick team back in the day.
Yeah.
But I've been watching some Mavs games, man, and I just want to say that Luka Doncic lost you that game against the Warriors.
Yep.
I think Luka needs to let Kyrie continue to close the games out.
Yep.
Because that's what Kyrie does. That's what won him a ring against one of the greatest basketball teams of all time. And I think until you get to a point to where Luka lets Kyrie take over, you won't win the ball games that you need to win.
It's interesting you say that. I actually agree with you, and I don't think it's because Kyrie is better at it. I think Luka needs to let Kyrie run the offense in general. It has nothing to do with closing out ball games. If you look like since Clay has come into the picture, if you look at when this offense is cooking the most, it's when Kyrie has the ball in his hand and Derek Lively is at the top of the key, kind of manning everything from the big man position because they run a lot of stuff from the top of the key, right?
Right.
Lively's there. He's kind of like there after the screen. He kind of like the center position on this Mavs team is so important. Gafford and Lively are really directing traffic, whether that's, passing the ball to the right guy, getting the ball to, driving the ball, whether they're there to set a screen, whatever the case might be, that you kind of direct the traffic of the offense from there.
Right.
My problem with Luka isn't that he's not a great closer because he is a great closer. Like that's disingenuous to say. My problem with Luka is he's just cold because he didn't have a preseason. He's basically taking these first 10 to 20 games to be his preseason, and that's not what I expected coming into the year.
Right.
He has not shot the ball well. And on top of that, he's doing stupid stuff like shooting that
quarter, jacking up three pointers.
Jacking up shots that don't make any sense. Against the Nuggets, they were up 1. I think there was like a minute left or up 2, and Luka comes down and holds the ball for like 20 seconds and jacks up a three from like almost midcourt. His shot is not there right now. He can make those shots. We've seen him do it all the time.
Yeah.
His shot is just.
But the thing is, if it's not working for you right now, you have a guy that can close the game. Matter of fact,
you have
Clay,
two guys.
You got two closers, two guys that are very, very good at it and have done it for a long period of time. So it's like, I think I don't know if listen, I'm not a Luka guy. I haven't been a Luka guy like you have. I think he plays really good offense sometimes, but I think that he lacks in other places, especially on defense. I mean, he's looked a little better this year, but he's looked better than what I've seen in the past.
He's looked better. He's looked better at times, but like his defense is not what I expected it to be in moments that I was expecting for it to be better at. Right. I still think he's too lazy. He still cries and complains to the ref. Like, dude, it's been 7 years. Like, get over it at this point.
He's been in the league 7 years?
Dude, this is his 7th year in the league. He's 25.
Wow, yeah, he's been in the league a long time.
Yeah, it's long enough. Like the whole he's still a young kid. Like that. You've been to a finals. You've been to 2 conference finals in the last 3 years.
Yep.
It's time for him to grow up, and in order for him to take that next step, he's got to grow up from a mental perspective. And once he can do that, he's going to be the best player in the world.
Once he does it, we'll see that. But yeah, other than that, man,
it's been frustrating, dude. It's been
cool to watch Kyrie and Clay go off. They've been going off. And that's been really funny. I don't know how how y'all was able to make that happen, but it looks good.
When it's clicking, it's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
It is a lot. Like when Luka is just letting Kyrie do Kyrie, and you're bringing actions off the top of the key and letting Derek Lively maneuver the offense. Dude, it's been a blast to watch. This team is. Once they figure that out to be on a consistent basis, this will be one of the best offenses. And it won't be close. And their defense is good. They have a top 5 defensive efficiency rating.
I would not be surprised.
This team is very good.
Yeah.
Once they figure it out offensively, this will be an NBA championship contender this year. They will be right there.
I have enjoyed watching them play games. I've watched about 6 games within the last 6 games within the last 4 or 5, 6 games within the last 2 to 3 weeks. And
the other thing is they're probably tired. Yeah, they've been tired. They've been playing every other day for 3 weeks now.
Yeah, it's
so they're probably exhausted at some.
Yeah. But
anyway, we digress. They'll play tonight. They play Saturday, Sunday, and Tuesday, and then they get 3 days.
Jesus.
Yeah, so they're going to be tired, but they've got to figure out a way to win some of these next few games because again, you play the Nuggets on Sunday, you play the Thunder on Tuesday. You have to win both of those games.
You got to win both of those.
Either one, you really win the next one. But hey, well, if you want to talk about the Mavericks, go watch Locked On Mavs, the best Mavericks podcast out there. It's excellent. It's good stuff. Here we talk about the Texas Longhorns. So 49-17, Texas boat races Florida. Kind of in a way that I expected the score, which is nice to see. I didn't expect it seeing the way that it came. That was a pleasant surprise.
Yes, that was fun. That was
we saw the Quinn. Watch. Yeah, we saw the Quinn Ewers that we saw at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
This Quinn Ewers, nobody's beating this team if that's the Quinn Ewers.
Absolutely, I feel the same way.
If that's the Quinn Ewers you get week in and week out the rest of the season, this is the best team in the country. No doubts about it. I don't think Oregon is better. I don't think Ohio State's better. I don't think those are the only 2 teams in front of us. I don't think either of those 2 teams are better. And both of those teams, Texas will end up being a 2 seed right here.
Yep.
So, and Again, it's not Texas's fault. Sorry, guys. If they end up being the 2 seed, they have a direct line to the national title.
I believe so.
And there's nobody on that side of the bracket that's going to beat them.
Yeah, I believe that, like 1,000%.
But hey, we'll get your thoughts here in a second. Stretch run here, guys. Arkansas, Kentucky, and that one school in College Station. Flick them off, roll our eyes. Yes, sir. Did you see the drone show that they had for Veterans Day by Kyle Field this week?
No, I didn't see that, but I like how they went and got a drone. They went and started having
They always
drone
got to
shows.
copy Big Brother, bro. They can't do their own stuff. They always got to copy Big
Texas has been doing drone shows for about four or 5 years now. That's been a thing. They also have.
Brother. It's actually been like 2 years, 2-3 years.
No,
That's
because they
CDC.
also they started with Tom. They started with Tom. That was
Did
the
they?
thing. Yes. You not remember when we went to go see
I was always so pissed off at Tom. I never paid attention to anything else.
we went to go see Tom Herman. That's when they also started that light tradition during halftime. Do you not remember that?
Yeah.
That was the first game where that happened against
I do
Iowa
remember
State,
that.
Tom Herman's
You're right.
last year.
Yeah.
So they've been doing that for a long time now. So
It's a CDC thing.
yeah. And so also that was around the time that they started doing the paratroopers. Now they didn't do it that game, but they do it at least once a year. Well, they'll have paratroopers jump out and bring
Fly
in
into the stadium.
yeah, which is all cool and stuff. But yeah, Texas handled Florida very well. I was very impressed. There was a number of things that I liked that I did see that I talked about about last week that they actually really made a name for themselves. One, they got a running back over 100 yards, which was Jared Gibson. Which I thought it would have
needs to be your running back.
Yeah, I thought it would have been.
Needs to be the running back. He needs to be
Gibson
from a ball carrier perspective. He needs to be the running back.
Jared Gibson runs the hardest out of all of the running backs. Then I would say would be Trey, which Trey was also very good, and Blue also was very good. All contributed in some kind of way, which was that was the most impressive thing I saw. You had Trey catching passes, you had Blue catching passes. I believe both of them got into the end zone. I know Jarrett got into the end zone. Gibson got into the end zone. So it was good to see those guys contribute early. Texas was getting the ball out there very, very early, getting those guys in an open space. And it just goes to show you like how deep Texas is as far as their team. And as far as like weapons are concerned. There was one swing pass that Quinn threw to Blue out in the open. He threw it out to the left, and I mean he made people look absolutely stupid. So it was great to see the ball get spread. From what I understood and from the stats that I saw after the game, they got the ball to over 10 people. That's really good.
From a receiving perspective, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 10 guys got the ball. Amari Nyblack even got like a little like one catch for 2 yards, right?
Hey, I'm all for it.
The one play that I thought was the best play of the game was you could think about the little trick play in the first quarter, right? Isaiah Bond, that was creative.
That was very creative. It took long to develop, but I don't know why he thought that was a perfect time to do it, but it worked, and I liked it.
It really threw the defense off balance. The fake tight end screen to the end zone to Matthew Golden.
That was awesome.
Stuff. That's the
they
stuff.
Was in a they listen. I don't know what it was about Sark opening up the bag and open up the play. Oh my God, it was awesome. It was a lot of plays that we hadn't seen before.
Quinn's healthy. That's what that is to me.
That has to be, right?
That looked like healthy Quinn to me. That looked like beginning of the season, 100% Quinn.
Let me ask you this: from we knew that we kind of had a hunch, and there's been numerous reports about people saying, "Oh, Quinn is finally healthy." From what we've seen in the past and what we've seen while Quinn was injured, do you think? And this is just a hypothetical. It's already in the past. We already know what the outcome was eventually. Do you think this Quinn that played in this game out against Florida would have beat Georgia?
Yeah, they would have blown out Georgia.
Okay.
That game wouldn't have been close. Dude, if you think about it, right? Carson Beck had 3 interceptions in that game.
That's
Healthy Quinn turns those into points because those are short fields.
Right. It's 21 points.
It's not like Quinn, like the receivers weren't open. It's not like, those things were. Quinn was missing a lot of throws too.
No,
like,
that's the thing.
Storm of bad things to happen. The offensive line play on Saturday was
excellent. No rhythm, absolutely at all. So no, you're not going to be the best QB that you can possibly be. And to be honest, we didn't think that he was healthy.
Yeah. Well, I just thought he played a bad game, but I guess it turned into like, is he healthy? That was the speculation. And now looking that bye week came at a great time because I think he's going to boat race the rest of the schedule.
I hope so.
Listen, there's not a team on this schedule I'm worried about it. I'm telling you, there wasn't at the beginning of the season.
Okay.
I'm not afraid to go into college. People don't realize Stark is undefeated on the road since like 2022. So we're supposed to be afraid to go to College Station.
College Station gonna be rocking regardless of
I'm sure it's gonna be rocking.
Regardless of that, will probably be the loudest stadium that they walk into, probably since Alabama last year.
And they went into Alabama and they dusted it.
Do you think Alabama is a better team than A&M currently? Even though I think, because currently I think Alabama is good, but I think they're one-dimensional. If you can't throw,
Jalen Milroe can't throw the ball, then they are one-dimensional.
Yeah,
but so it's A&M. They don't have a running game. If Le'Veon Moss is out, they don't have a running game, which actually plays in the favor of Texas because Texas is the best secondary in the country.
Right.
Statistically, is the best secondary in the country, which is crazy because last season they were one of the worst. They were one of the worst last season, so it's crazy. DJ continues to say, "Oh, it's Coach Dub. What up, Coach?
Coach Williams, what's happening?
How you doing, my guy? I love the effort to get Isaiah Bond the ball early. Yeah, I think this also helped a lot having Isaiah Bond on the field. There's a level of comfort there. And it's again, Isaiah can kind of spread the field because of his speed.
Yeah.
And when the guy can go from one side of the field to the other in less than 2 seconds and be able to put a lot of pressure on the defense is no longer playing, north and south. They're playing east to west. Right. And that's a problem. And that creates issues for a opposing secondary or even linebackers that like to play north and south. Now you're asking them to try to, run east and west with you, and they can't do that.
Right. I also want to bring this to attention is that Texas has had their defensive backs have had 3 interceptions the last 3 weeks.
It's the best secondary in the country. Statistically.
Honestly, I haven't seen that type of defense like running around since that year that Colt and was back there with Blake Gideon and Earl Thomas and all those guys. It was really, really good to see that. They're a bunch of ball hawks, dude. They're running around, they're flying to the ball, they're capitalizing on mistakes. And when Texas has a short field, we know that Texas has the firepower to put the ball in the end zone. And that was a really good thing to see. And plus, it makes it easier for your offense. It gives your offense more juice. Your defense is eager to get back out there because other guys want to get the ball. So it was impressive again. Now we know that Lagway was not playing, but that was still a team that gave Georgia a run for its money. We cannot. I think people are overshadowing that, and that gives me cause of pause because if Florida would have beaten Georgia in that situation, and then Texas comes in boat races Florida, that would be, oh well, you're supposed to do that because you're Texas.
That's still that way though.
And it's like, and we'll get into this later on, but it just seems like a lot of goalpost moving.
Yeah,
Lots of it from fans to the people that are not fans to media to whatever. Like the Longhorns can't do anything but play the games that are in front of them. That's it. They can't do anything but play the teams and that are in front of them. I think if Lagway was in that game against Georgia, of course, I think Georgia would have actually lost that game. I think they walked into there kind of like Texas walked in the DKR a couple weeks ago, and they got smacked around by Georgia. I think that's what they expected to win. I think Georgia did the same thing. I think with that situation, there was no elements, no nothing. They just got beat up. Now they prevailed against Florida, but I think personally, we got to give Florida kudos for what they had and what they put out there. They did what they can with what they had. They didn't have much.
Yeah.
So, kudos to the Longhorn defense. Kudos to the Longhorn offense. You guys really put a game together. Kudos to the coaching for putting a game plan together. Do y'all think we can see more touches for Ryan Wingo? Love DeAndre, but he really pissed me off last time.
He's got to catch the football, man.
That's the one. If there was anything that happened that was bad,
he's got to catch the football.
DeAndre Moore's got to catch the. Hey, listen, DeAndre Moore had a great game. It's just he would have had an even better game, or even a breakout game.
He should have had 3 touchdowns.
He should have
ended up with 1.
I think he ended up with 1.
No, he ended up he ended up with 2. He had 2 receptions for 22 yards, but he dropped 2 touchdowns, in my opinion.
Yeah,
one of them was tough, but the other one was no excuse. I love DeAndre Moore. I think he's developing really well.
DeAndre Moore looks really good. Ryan Wingo also looks really. Listen, this is the kind of thing, DG, that I was talking about last week with the separation between Jonte Cook and the Longhorns. I know we want more. We want to get those guys the ball. We want to get Ryan Wingo the ball. We want to get DeAndre Moore the ball. And they're about. I think they're on the verge of having a breakout. Maybe not this season, but I can definitely see next season those guys will be the guys. But for right now, you got Isaiah Bond, you got Golden, you got Gunnar Helm. Like these are the seasoned guys. And these guys are the ones that are getting the ball. And you can tell because Quinn is comfortable getting them the ball. Now, I love what they're doing with Ryan, and I love what they're doing with DeAndre Moore and getting them the touches in the game very early because they are getting them involved early. And it's like defenses are so heavily on Bond and Golden that they're not paying attention to the other guy that's on the field. And so that gives them the opportunity because it's like, who are you going to cover? And it's still going to continue to be that way next season. So I think we're in a good spot. I think we're in a really, really, really good spot.
Let me share here real quick for Coach.
Yeah. Coach jumping in here?
Coach Dub. Listen, Coach Dub. I'm just here to show the stats, right? From the worst stat website in the history of the world.
I can't see him if he's in.
Hold on.
There we go.
This is based on coverage, which I don't know if this is what this is, Texas has the best secondary in the country.
Nice.
I didn't make this up. By the way, who do you think the number one rated cornerback in the country is?
Who do I think they're the number one rated cornerback?
If you were to guess, who is the number one unrated cornerback in the country?
Honestly, it's either Makuba or it's Jade.
Jade Barron's the number one rated quarterback in the country. According to BFF.
They've been beasts. Where does Makuba fall?
He's been really good. I think he's at like
where does Makuba fall?
Makuba's from Austin.
I know, but where does he fall? Like where?
Yeah. Let me see.
Because both of them. Where does Michael Taft fall?
Michael Taft is actually rated higher than Makuba.
Well, to be fair, I think he has more interceptions, and I think he's had more plays because there was a little bit of time where Makuba was a little banged up. So I could see Michael Taft being in a situation where he's rated a little higher.
This is not what I want. I still don't know how to work this damn thing. Okay. So cornerbacks, coverage. I guess we can do coverage. No, that's not
coverage. That's all that matters. Yards per play, man. What like, you know.
I guess we do by by player in college.
They're good, but the best. Hey, according to PFF, man, it's different.
Hey,
out of the schedule. Yeah.
I don't like PFF. I don't even know how to navigate this stupid website.
They have been very sticky this year. This has been the best out of everything at the end of the year. I think this has been the strongest group on the football field in general. Wide receivers, defensive line, offensive line. To me, the strongest group this year has been the defensive backs, hands down.
And that's not what we expected coming in.
That is the last thing we expected. Last year, we had Coach Williams on here, and Coach Williams literally broke down 4 or 5 games where they were like, why are you deep? Why are you backed up here? Why are you not playing these zones correctly?
Right.
I think I don't necessarily know what happened with the defensive play calling, but whatever they're doing, and I do like the fact that they have a little bit more of they're giving the DBs more of an opportunity to blitz. Yeah. I've noticed that. They have played quite a bit more man, and a lot of those guys, that's what they do. They play man to man. Yeah. Very impressed again with the tackling situation because that was also an issue last year. They weren't really tackling. They were giving up big plays. Now, have they given up big plays this year? Absolutely. Not as much as they did last year. I think last year they were ranked like 130, 139. Not good at all. Nothing that was going to win you a ball game. But again, I've been impressed with them.
Coverage and man covers. The top Texas corner is actually pretty low in man. Actually, not even in the top 50. But zone coverage.
I don't get nervous at all about the team trying to throw on us. Even Kobe Black has some good. Kobe Black, and that kid from Louisiana. I forget his name all the time because it's a difficult name for me to remember. I've had
secondary guy, Jordan Johnson Rebel. No,
the other gentleman from Louisiana. I think he might have even been a flip from LSU. He's a freshman.
You talking about Philsamy?
No. No, I'll pull his name up right quick.
Wardell Mack?
Is it Wardell Mack? Is Wardell Mack from Louisiana?
Wardell Mack is, he's from Baton Rouge.
There we go. Wardell Mack he's been really good, man. He's been really, really good. And listen, I'm just glad that they've got the confidence. I feel like they can play with anybody.
Yeah.
Travis Hunter. We know that Travis Hunter is
We know Travis Hunter is on a different level.
Travis Hunter is special. Travis Hunter is doing some stuff, we haven't seen enough.
Travis Hunter is a generational talent.
Right. He is a Cam Newton. He is
that is the definition of a generational talent.
Right.
Travis Hunter is the definition of a generational talent.
Right.
It is very unlikely that we will ever see another player at the college level like we've seen Travis. And in our lifetime that we can solidly remember.
Right.
I've never seen a guy play two ways that way.
I can think of
remember it. Like I would to live through it and remember it.
I can think of a couple of players, but not to where that they were like the focal point on the offense and the defense. No.
Not playing 100 snaps a game.
Yeah, no. The last person I remember that I can remember off the top of my head is Henry Melton.
Oh yeah, Henry Melton. But again, even Henry Melton, like I don't really remember like all too well,
That was 2005. That's why. Yeah, it's
that team was stacked though.
Yeah, that team was stacked, and that's why he ended up moving to defensive tackle instead of being a running back.
Right.
So again, shout out to the Longhorns. Shout out to those guys. Shout out to the defense. All around good looking team. Listen, Florida gave it all that they could. Their main guy was banged up, and they did what they had to do. And
next year
it just wasn't enough. Next year, it's probably not going to be the same, especially since those guys are also trying to attack and steal our recruits.
Next year,
they're actively trying to go at Jamie French to flip him to Florida.
Oh, no, Miami is.
Miami.
Florida.
Yeah, both. Yeah.
That was never surprising. He's a hometown kid. That was never shocking.
Yeah. So shout out to
you coming with me to Gainesville next year?
I would love to go to Gainesville.
I want to go see DJ Lagway versus Arch Manning.
Two Texas kids. One Texas kid. DJ Lagway. Listen, DJ Lagway is going to be something special. DJ Lagway is going to be something. We need to hit the portal. I would agree 1,000%. I
would agree too. We need to go get some portal guys for sure.
I definitely listen. I'm all for it. Oh, one other guy before we close out of here. Shout out to Trey Moore. Trey Moore showed up and showed out.
Yeah. I think that's just he's growing, right? I mean, Trey Moore. People don't realize Trey Moore is young. He's only a sophomore.
Right.
He's going to be fine. He will figure it out. And I think he played very well. He had a fumble recovery. Mm-hmm. He had a sack. He had a sack for 0 yards for no gain, right?
Yeah.
Like he had a sack. I think they recorded it as a sack too. I'm checking right now.
They had a couple.
They recorded it as a tackle for loss. But
okay.
Trey Moore is starting to figure it out. Listen, man, we had expectations of him, but at the end of the day, he's still a young kid. He's playing with the big boys now. He needed some time to adjust. I think Trey Moore is coming back next year.
I think so too. I think Trey Moore will come back because I believe if Trey Moore has a good season, he could definitely end up being one of the top defensive ends. I think this year, with a lot of those guys, again, there's a lot of those guys on that Clemson defensive line that are going to be moving on. A lot of those guys on that South Carolina line, the Tennessee defensive line. This year in the draft,
the line is great.
My gosh, yeah, it's going to be actually very impressive. I think we'll see a defensive draft, and as we get closer to it, we'll talk about it. But in the meantime, do you have any closing thoughts about the Texas versus Florida game?
This right here. We'll get Trey Moore back. Him and Colin Simmons are going to be disgusting together.
Absolutely.
Defensive line next year is going to be insane.
Absolutely.
You think you're going to get Trey back, which you should. You're going to, obviously Colin Simmons is only a sophomore. Mm-hmm. Anthony Luck's going to be a junior next year.
Right.
The defense is going to be we think the defense is really good next year. Next year, the defense is going to be even better. Alex
Yeah.
January is going to be holding up the middle of that defensive line next year. I'm so excited.
Yep.
And if you can flip a Javian Hilson and bring him in, and some of these guys to help kind of contribute, maybe you try to go get a guy out of the portal just to suffice and have some depth. Ethan Burke should be back. Colton Vasek hopefully takes that. Dude, this defensive line is going to be insane next year.
Absolutely.
The best part about it is PK's not going anywhere. That is, we've had so much consistency in this coaching staff. That's been a blessing for us. We've had to do very little, if anything at all, to disrupt this coaching staff, which has been very helpful. So that's the glue that puts it all together. As far as final thoughts, I mean, there's really not much to take from this game. That's why we haven't really directly talked about it.
Yeah.
But what I do want to talk about next is, of course, the CFB playoff rankings that came out this past week. So every Tuesday this week, it was weird because it was at 7:30, which kind of threw it off. I was like waiting around and seeing what was going on. I'm trying to pull up where the committee ranked everybody. Here we go. The second playoff ranking. So lots of change happened, right? And lots of change happened because that's kind of what happens. I'm trying to find a link that has the playoff bracket with it.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like the one that has like the
actual
has like the little bracket.
Yeah, ESPN has it. It is
playoff picture. That's what this shows. Let me just see if I can just go home and find it here.
Oh, that's a place predictor.
Oh, here we go. Okay. I think I see it. I think this is it.
Before you do that,
yeah, go for it. While I save this, go for it.
Yeah, while you're doing that, listen, guys, I have been on a tear about the last couple of weeks about how I feel that Miami was not deserving of their ranking that they received. They finally ran into a buzzsaw and got boat raced. Outside of Cam Ward, that team does not look explosive. I think Cam Ward needs a lot of help, and he hasn't been getting it, and that's why he's been having to play Superman for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But I would like to give my top 12 teams, and I'm just going to run through them again. The reason why I have these teams up where they are is because I believe that these teams are the teams that I think are either really good or have the best opportunity to beat up on each other. So if it sounds like a little homie, that's because it's not because I'm a fan. It's because of what I believe. So at the top, I have Oregon. Number 2, I have Texas. Number 3, I have SMU. Number 4, I have BYU. Number 5, I have Alabama. Number 6, I have Tennessee. Number 7, I have Miami. Number 8, I have Ole Miss. Number 9, I have Georgia. Number 10 is Penn State. Number 11 is Notre Dame. And number 12 is Boise State.
Wait, where do you have Oregon?
At 1.
Oh, okay. I thought I was like, whoa. And Ohio State at 3?
Ohio State is at, I'm sorry. Well, I messed this up. Yeah, definitely messed this up. I'm sorry. So Ohio State should be 4. BYU should be 5. Alabama should be 6. Tennessee should be 7. Take out Miami because they suck. So 8 should be Ole Miss. 9 should be Georgia. 10 should be Penn State. 11 should be Boise State. So, yeah, swap out Miami. Take Miami out. and then put Ohio State in there. So actually, you could switch that around. Ohio State should be 6, and Tennessee should be 7. So yeah, just a quick rundown.
Okay, well, I'm still struggling here. Oh, here we go. We found one. Hold on. I've been struggling to find one. So, all right, I found one. We're ready to roll.
Yeah.
So this is as of Tuesday, since the ratings have come out. This is what things look like. Right? So,
wait, as you're bringing this up, do you agree with what happened yesterday? I mean, not yesterday, but on Tuesday.
As far as the ratings,
I think this is the closest to them being right. I think this is the closest as them being right. I think this is even with Texas being at number 3.
Yeah,
I still
you
think
want my honest opinion?
I don't see Miami being up. I don't think Miami should be there. That's the.
Well, I mean, the only reason they're there is because they're the highest rated ACC school.
Right.
That's the only. Again, that's the thing. To me, all the ratings are saying is like this is the highest rated this school.
I think if SMU can get to the ACC championship, if they end up playing, are they split? What division is SMU in? I know
nobody has divisions anymore.
Okay, so if SMU and Miami were to play in a head-to-head game at a neutral site for a championship,
here's the funny part.
I think SMU smokes Miami.
This is what's interesting about this bracket, right? The polls have Miami rated number 9. You know where Miami ranks in the ACC standings right now?
4th, right? 3rd or 4th? 3rd, yeah.
So that makes no sense. How is Miami rated 9th? But they're not even slotted to even make their playoff right now. Clemson is second.
Well, I guess they're saying that Clemson is going to lose.
Who else does Clemson play?
Clemson has a pretty.
They cakewalk the rest of the season. They played Pitt, right, and Pitt's kind of fell off.
Yeah, Pitt started out strong, but they've not looked good.
Play the Citadel, and then they end out South Carolina, right? So
I think they could. Probably,
but that's not going to. But that South Carolina game doesn't impact their ACC standings.
True.
If they beat Pitt this weekend, they basically solidified their spot in the ACC championship game.
Yeah, if they beat Pitt, because Pitt ain't Pitt
Miami
top 25.
They're not rated anymore. Miami still has to play Wake Forest and Syracuse. Ooh. They could lose that Syracuse game.
They could lose that Syracuse game. That's hey, listen, Syracuse ain't no
3-3, but they play very well.
Syracuse is not. They're not walk in there. They're not cakewalk. That's
SMU has Boston College and Virginia and Cal left. SMU's not losing another game.
They have who? West Virginia. They have who?
West Virginia, Boston College, and Stanford.
Boston College ain't no cakewalk either, though.
But Castellanos is out.
Oh.
They've struggled since Castellanos has been out.
Oh, Castellanos ain't playing.
Bro, he hasn't played in like 3 or 4 weeks.
I forgot. I totally forgot. Oh no. Yeah. That's gonna listen, between the ACC and the SEC, these are the 2 most interesting races here. I think we know who's going to end up being in the championship game for the Big Ten. I don't know what is going to happen between the ACC and the SEC. This is what, to be fair, this is what we've been wanting, right? All of this college football rankings, they should do this, they should expand it. So now it's expanded. And now you have teams that are going 9-1 and then in fourth place, 8-1 and then third place. Like, these tiebreakers are absolutely insane. The SEC, Texas could lose this weekend and be in like sixth place.
Yeah.
So now is not the time to kind of fumble the bag there. But other than Miami, do you see anything else where you're just like, no?
Notre Dame. I don't care for Notre Dame. I don't think they're that good.
Yeah, I think Notre Dame is a snooze fest. This Alabama Indiana game, I think Indiana might catch Alabama slipping.
Especially if they play that game at home.
Listen,
the way Kurt Signetti got that team playing at home, woo-wee, that's a dangerous
in
game.
December.
In December, in the cold weather, it might be snowing in Indiana, bro.
Yeah, bro. I'm really hoping. I'm really, really hoping that this is a situation where this happens. You know what would be even more insane? Seeing Ole Miss have to go to Penn State in December is absolutely
in a whiteout playoff at night. This is why we wanted a 12-team playoff.
Bro, can I say another thing? I'm so sick of seeing these top 12 matchups at 12 o'clock at night or 12 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh yeah, in the afternoon.
Yeah.
You know why? Because Fox has the dumbest marketing scheme ever. They don't want to compete with the big games at night, so they're like, "Oh, we're going to call it."
So bad. There's no reason why. I don't remember. Listen, I can't say that I'm a fan of Penn State, but I do want to see a Penn State night whiteout game.
Like, I want to see Michigan, Ohio State at night.
That would be, bro. That would be crazy.
Imagine watching Michigan, Ohio State in either place, in the Big House or at the Shoe at night. That would be insane.
Yeah.
So, as far as the standings go, the two things stick out. The first two teams out are Georgia and A&M.
Right.
Listen, A&M is boxed out because they lost to South Carolina and they lost to Notre Dame. That's why Notre Dame is ahead of A&M, and Notre Dame would continue to stay ahead of A&M until they lose.
If Notre Dame slips up at all, they're gonna find a way to get Georgia back in it.
If Texas slips up at all, they risk the run. If any of these SEC teams slip up, they're done.
Yeah.
The loser, if Tennessee loses to Georgia, Tennessee could be out. Georgia could be back in. Like, that is very possible. Now, if Tennessee beats Georgia, then I think that actually opens the door for Texas, because then Texas can afford a loss.
Yes, they can afford to slip up at that point.
They won't get a home game. I think they probably be in that like 9 to 11 range, but they can afford a loss. They'll have to go to like a Penn State, or they'll have.
It also depends on the
worst thing that would have to happen. Yeah, if the worst thing that happens from there is Texas has to go to Indiana, I'm not.
I think
Texas would boat race Indiana. I'm sorry.
I don't know about that.
I watched this Indiana team play. They're good. They're really good. But I don't think they would meet Texas in the trenches. That obviously, I know a lot of Indiana fans and they agree. Like they would not meet Texas in the trenches.
Okay,
dude, Texas, we wouldn't be. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I changed my mind after seeing them against Ohio State this week.
Yeah, that's going to be this weekend slate of games.
If Indiana gets boat raced by Ohio State, then I was right. Like, I wouldn't have been afraid of them at all.
Yeah, this weekend's slate of games is absolutely insane. You have Texas versus Arkansas, of course. You got Utah, Colorado. That's an 11 o'clock game.
That's a good one.
That is going to be a really, really good one.
That could put Colorado on the map. Listen, hold on. You know what? I'm going to save it. There's a potential apology, and I'm going to save it.
Oh, no, listen, I'm not going to apologize for what I deem the field. Listen, Colorado has done exceptionally well.
They played great. They played really well this year.
They've beaten the teams that they're supposed to beat up on, and they've done really well. Now, have they been very loud with these wins? Yes. It always seems to be something with Colorado when they win. The issue with the issues that went down at Texas Tech, even though the ball boy was absolutely insane for knocking a ball out of a player's hand, you don't do that. You don't. You're absolutely insane. So them bucking at him for the way that they did,
yeah,
that makes sense. That was unprovoked, but the whole incident with the fans and the bottles and the stuff like that, like they win. Is it loud? Do I like how they win? Absolutely not. I just want them to go in there, take care of business, and get out. But
well, I mean, I'll combat that with, I don't think it's their fault.
It's not. It's not. It's us. It's us.
Yeah.
We give them the attention. We give them the 24/7 coverage. They continue to win. Listen, I don't think they beat BYU. I don't think that they beat BYU. BYU.
Colorado? Yeah. I don't think BYU's that good.
BYU has played some excellent ball. They are playing fun.
They struggle. I mean, they struggled at Utah, but that's a rivalry.
That's a rivalry game. Like they still do.
They should have lost that game. Look, listen, Kevin Marr came to the rescue. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
I cannot stand that clown. He came to the rescue.
Listen, there was some very weird calls going on in that game.
There were some very intentional calls.
There were some egregious calls. Like it was
that was the sign of a conference trying to keep their conference in the playoff.
Right. But it wasn't in a situation to where I felt like there were some calls. There was some iffy calls.
Yeah.
However, it was the game, the quality of the game overshadowed the calls. You know, in certain situations, those few calls can really just throw it, it can damper a game. It didn't happen that way this go around. I think if there's any situation where that guy meets up with Colorado and he's there, could be a problem.
Yeah, no, it totally could. But we'll see. Colorado plays Utah, Clemson, Pitt, of course. Tulane, Navy can get really interesting.
Yes.
Let's see what else is on here. Oh, and that's the 11 a.m. slate. The afternoon slate is Boston College, SMU, Penn State, Purdue, Virginia versus Notre Dame, Louisville, Stanford, LSU, Florida is the 2:30 game for the SEC.
Yes. And French will be there.
Who?
French will be there.
Oh, he's going to be at that game.
Yeah, he'll be at that game. I mean, he's a hometown kid. Like even though he's committed, like he's already said, "Listen, I'm coming to Texas." But I mean, if you have an opportunity to go and watch some games on a field level, why not?
Yeah, why
As
not?
a high school kid,
that's free. But the big one, of course, this weekend is Tennessee, Georgia. That's huge. That's the 6:30. That's the big.
Literally, either one of if Georgia loses, they're done. If Georgia
the loser of this game is done. If Tennessee wins, then we're heading towards the all UT SEC title game.
Yeah.
Nuts.
I don't know, tangerine orange versus burnt orange. And I know how
have you heard of that place called Cosm in Dallas? It's the the stadium experience that's indoors. It's like the little spear thing.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. I do want to go to that.
That's where we're gonna. So we're gonna probably try to go to the Big 12 title game.
Okay.
If Colorado makes it, and then we're gonna go watch the SEC title game there.
You're gonna go watch the SEC title game there?
Yeah, that's where we're gonna go watch the SEC title. Because
Dude,
I do think Texas is going to make it. Texas is going to play somebody. I don't know who they play.
I mean, at this point, like it's getting down to the nitty gritty. Like they could end up playing Alabama.
Yeah, they could play Alabama. They could play in a wild scenario. They could play LSU.
Yeah,
They could play Tennessee. Like in a crazy scenario, they could still play Georgia. Like they're and if they lose one game, they're out.
yeah,
So
yeah.
these next 3 weeks, man, it's gonna be real important. So this is where it stands so far for right now. There's nothing here that surprised. Listen, by the end of this, I don't think Ohio State's gonna be ranked 5. If the loot, here's what I see. If the
Okay.
loser of, I think if the loser of the Big Ten championship game is Oregon, if they lose the Big Ten championship, then they'll fall to 5, right?
Mhm.
Ohio State will move up to 1. I can see that. But
Right.
if Ohio State loses to Oregon again, they're not going to keep them at 5.
Yeah,
That doesn't make any sense, right?
yeah, yeah.
Then you say, hey, does the SEC runner up, if it's not Texas, do they slip up to 5? Which
Yeah,
I want nothing to do with. Listen, I will gladly stay on this side of the bracket. I will play the winner of
I
Alabama.
want no parts of that.
Yeah, I'll gladly play the winner of Indiana and Alabama, and then potentially play any of those other 3 schools. Ole Miss probably scares me the most out of those 3, but I'll gladly take Penn State and
But
BYU.
Ole Miss, to me, Ole Miss is a lot like Georgia. You don't know what version of Jackson Dart you're going to get. You don't know if you're going to get the Jackson Dart that beat up on Georgia. You don't know if you're going to get the Jackson Dart that went to bed a couple weeks ago and where they didn't look good at all and they lose.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're going to get until it happens. Ole Miss is they do look good, but again, that Jackson Dart just, I don't know. When he's on though.
When he's on, he's really good. Yeah. But then the thing about BYU and Penn State that doesn't worry me is you don't have to go to either of those fields.
Right.
It would be
you don't have to, yeah. And I think that plays.
And I just think they're just better than both those teams.
Right. I think that plays into a big part of why BYU is the way they are, because their stadium is absolutely insane.
And it's cold. It's Utah. Nobody wants to be there. Like nobody.
You're playing late. If you're playing at home, your chances are, and you're traveling there, you're playing late.
Yeah, especially like if you're on the East Coast, like Penn State having to travel to a BYU would be brutal. Anybody on the East Coast having to travel to BYU would be terrible.
Absolutely, because when they play, a lot of people are like winding down, if not already asleep. So, interesting, man. This is what we have.
Continue to see how it plays out. Next week's ratings are going to be very interesting, especially if Georgia beats Tennessee. If a slip up happens, if another slip up happens. So we'll continue to keep our eyes on it. Who does Ohio State play next week?
I don't think Ohio State plays.
They might be off.
I think they have an off.
This could be their second bye week. So
they
can sit back and watch the chaos. So we'll see. Listen, if Boise State drops a game, right? Now you're talking like, could SMU jump in? Right. And I think they do right at that point.
Yeah.
Or could, does somebody else jump in? Is there a potential for like another G5 school to jump in there, which at this point, SMU is right there at 14. Does A&M, start to get back in the conversation, or Colorado or Kansas State? Like those next 5 teams are very interesting. Georgia, right? If they beat Tennessee, they'll probably be in. Tennessee will be out. So now you got to replace 2 with 1. So there's still a lot of football to play.
Still a lot.
We'll see how it continues to play.
Oregon, before we move on, Oregon goes into Camp Randall at night. Now, I know Wisconsin's lost 2 back-to-back, but
that'll be interesting.
Oregon could waltz in there thinking that they're about to just boat race, Wisconsin, and
it's a little cold.
Something happened. It's a different atmosphere. Camp Randall is one of the loudest stadiums. Listen, Autzen Stadium is also very loud. But it's something about Camp Randall at night, 6:30. They ain't got nothing to lose. They're gonna throw haymakers, so just be prepared.
Yeah. Let's see. Wisconsin, Badger Stadium. I don't. Is that in Madison? Are they in Madison? Oh, they are in. Yeah, Camp
No.
Randall's in Madison. So let's see what the weather is like in Madison, Wisconsin. Because that'll tell me a lot. Let's see. Currently, the weather on Saturday is predicted to be okay. It's not raining. Let's look at the daily forecast.
It's supposed to be pretty cold.
It's only going to be like 49. So it's not going to get. I feel like it hasn't gotten like super cold anywhere yet.
Oh, that's that climate change, baby. It's that climate change.
Really, like usually by now it's like 8 degrees most places, especially like up north.
Climate change, baby.
They told us it was fake. What a bunch of. Okay, all right, Tim. We've got to go rapid speed. We've been here over an hour already. So, real quick, Texas returns to Fayetteville, Arkansas. We'll look at Texas versus Arkansas real quick. I honestly don't have too much to say about this game. It comes down to two things. Can Texas stop Kalen Green, which I think they can, and can Kalen Green put Texas's defense in an uncomfortable situation?
Right.
This game will go as Kalen Green goes, and
right.
I was trying to find out what Kalen Green looks like right now. The latest report says that he is questionable to play. And if he doesn't play, then hey, you also got Jaquindon Jackson. You've also got
Jackson. Where did he play ball at before?
Jaquindon Jackson, the former Texas Longhorn commit. Went to Utah, transfers to Arkansas.
Wow. Knew that name sounded familiar. Listen, Kalen, like you said, he's a very good. He can extend a play. And they have really good wide receivers to put the ball in the air, and they can make explosive plays. The good thing is it's going to be, are they going to be able to put the ball up in the air against the best secondary in the game in college football currently? That's the thing. Texas has not allowed over 8 plays over 20 yards in the entire season. That's really, really, really impressive. Passing yardage wise, they've only allowed 8 20-yard passes.
Yeah.
That's very, very good.
I think how many passing touchdowns have they allowed this year? It's less than less than 5, right?
That I don't remember. But yeah, that's very impressive. Listen, not Ole Miss. Arkansas is terrible defending the deep ball. They're also terrible just defending the pass in general. They kind of remind me of Texas last year, where they had a bend but don't break, but they'll occasionally give up a deep ball or a deep play, on the regular. What do we know Texas is good at doing? Getting the ball out in the space and getting the guys the ball by committee. Golden, Bond, Wingo, DeAndre Moore, Gunner, Black, Quinn. I think that we're going to see the exact same game plan that we've seen at Florida here in Arkansas. It's going to be, I think we're going to see a lot of quick tempo. I think we're going to see a lot of screens. I think we're going to see a lot of quick hitches. I think we're going to see tight end screens. I think we're going to see a number of those things. The exact same game plan that we've seen in Florida is the same thing that we're going to see against Arkansas. And it's going to be up to Arkansas to beat it. Now, listen, the thing is, I think the key to this game, and Harish, you can jump in and chime in whenever you feel like it. I think the key to this game is that Texas needs to get up on Arkansas very, very early. They need to just deflate that team, delete all confidence, whatever confidence that they have, because these kids and these people at Arkansas absolutely hate Texas. This is
Arkansas hates Texas.
this is a 104-year-old rivalry. Listen, Texas High School is on the outskirts of Texas, and then there's Arkansas High School that is right on the outskirts of Arkansas, and they have been playing each other for before that I was born, and they have outside of the last 2 years because of like COVID and scheduling issues, they plan on rekindling this thing next year. I've always heard about this. I've never known like anybody out like famous in the modern day area to come out of these high schools, but this is big. This is for Texas and Arkansas to play each other again is really, really big.
Oh yeah, you know who's gonna be there, right?
Matt Jones.
Your boy.
Who?
The other Jones.
Felix Jones?
No, the Cowboy Jones.
Jerry Jones?
Yeah, Jerry.
Oh yeah, that's right, because he is a Razorback.
Oh, go Jerry Jones.
Good old Jerry
Jones gonna be out there, Razorback Stadium. And then he's gonna come back to Texas and lose the game on Sunday.
God, I hate Jerry Jones right now. I swear to God, I hate Jerry Jones. I swear to God, dude.
I hate my coaches too, so don't worry. And my GM. I wish my GM would say something besides nothing. Honestly, I hate that my GM hasn't said anything. It kind of concerns me because usually he's really up in there.
God,
but
is on my last nerve. Like I'm this close. I remember a couple years ago, I had like a moment where I just absolutely spazzed out on a podcast that we were doing because Jerry Jones did something stupid, and it's just like it's getting to that point again, and I just want to get it out. I just want to.
What do you have for a score for this game?
Oh yeah, sorry. I think this game is close in the first half. I think Texas pulls away. I have Texas winning 30-14.
Okay, I have 35-17.
So, yeah, I think,
but I hope it's more like 45-10.
Absolutely. I want it to be a 40-10 game, a 47 game.
The wider the margin in this game, the better for Texas.
Absolutely. This is where it comes in, where style points kind of come in, right? You need to start. If you can blow out teams, you need to blow out teams. But also, again, I'm also all about getting guys, these young guys, the proper game time that they need, just in case if something happens and they need to step in. Lord forbid somebody gets injured or something like that, but still getting them the reps. So 30-14 is what I'm looking at. You got 35-17.
Yep.
Cool.
All right, and then real quick, we'll wrap up. Earlier today, I missed it. I apologize.
I missed it too. I don't know what I was doing. Well, I know what I was doing, but I didn't get that notification.
I didn't get the notification. I didn't see it. But hey, 4-star defensive back, former commit of the Clemson Tigers, has committed to the University of Texas.
Yeah,
Texas is probably a couple of flips and a commitment away from being the number one class.
Now, I did see that. I've been seeing that since Saturday. I've been seeing that
clip, right?
Fasusi just said before we started that he's staying committed to Oklahoma.
Did he?
Yes.
He wants to go play for that trash.
Yeah. Michael.
Oh, he said, yeah, it says it's Sooner for life. We're all just chilling. For real. That's all right. If he wants to go play for losers, that's on him.
Yeah. So,
what? Hold on a second. Why is Mo Bamba going to the G League?
Why is what?
Mo Bamba going to the G League?
I don't know. Maybe he's hurt.
Bro, what? He should have stayed at Texas another season, honestly. He should have
Yes.
never left the league.
No,
I don't think he developed properly.
regardless, I think if he, oh no,
I don't think he's hurt. They assigned him. Assigned him meaning they intentionally moved him to the G League roster.
dang, he might be playing against Bronny.
Ronnie was sitting at courtside last night with his dad and hanging out when his dad was busting 40 on the freaking the Grizzlies, man. How LeBron James is still playing at this level is insane to me.
It's great. It's so good to watch.
We've never seen anything. But just listen, I get he's been playing forever, but just based on the way that he's playing, he might be the greatest player.
LeBron James has literally played more than half of my life in the league. More than
at a
half.
high level. He hasn't dropped off yet.
It's insane.
He still hasn't dropped off, bro. Listen, just for the sake of the fact that he plays this way for this long, that's good. Like, I might just put him at the greatest of all time. Screw the titles, dude. This dude played 20 years straight at the highest level. He might be an NBA first team player again. And this is year 20.
Nah, dog. Is it year 20 or this is year 21?
That's even worse. Year
21. He's
21.
been in the league since 03. It's 2024.
LeBron James this year.
LeBron James is
averaging at the age of freaking 38, 39. He's averaging 24. Let's see, 24, like 9 and 8.
And you know what's crazy? If he wasn't playing with Anthony Davis, it would be more. He'd have more points.
And they're winning.
Yeah. They look good now. I don't know what happened.
He's shooting 52% from the field at the age of 39.
It's absolutely insane.
And he's shooting 45% from three. This is his best shooting percentage from three in his career. And in year 21, he hasn't shot this well. He hasn't shot 40% from three since since he was at Miami. That was 10 years ago. Or that was 12 years.
And he's not a bad 3-point shooter. He just doesn't take them a lot. You know what I mean?
He doesn't take, yeah. I mean, people expect him to be a better 3-point shooter, but he's actually like, dude, he's shooting 46% from three. Now, again, we're only 11 games in, but maybe that'll balance itself out. But the fact that he's averaging 24, 9, and 8 in fucking year 21 is insane to me.
Insane. Absolutely.
So, but anyway, I know we wanted to talk about the Crybaby Aggies. We'll say that for next week because we've been on for a little bit. So let's go ahead and wrap up. Where can the people find you?
You can find me at Tim Wayne on Twitter. You can also find me on Blue Sky now.
Are you on Blue Sky?
I've made the migration over to Blue Sky. I've been over there for almost a month now. It actually has been really, really enjoyable.
Is that the non-psycho version of Twitter?
So Jack Dorsey, the original guy that sold Twitter to Elon, recreated Blue Sky, which with a lot of the original guys that created Twitter. And it's been absolutely joyous. I mean, there's no bots over there. There's no OnlyFans girls over there. It's nice. It's not a bunch of nudity and just random people getting shot and stuff like that. It's really just like artistic. It's just, it's a lot of crazy things going on in the world right now. It's just really nice to be able to like log in to a social media site and not have to hear all the hoopla. So
okay, well, I'll check that out. Blue Sky. I just heard about it for the first time this morning.
Yeah. I've been on Blue Sky for about 28, 29 days now. And again, I've been following like a lot of just people that I'm interested in, right? So, again, video games, sports, things like that. And
are there a lot of users on there right now?
Well, they have X has dropped from the number 1 app to the number 3 app in a matter of 1 week.
Oh, they have. Oh, good, because X. All right, so I'm gonna create us a Blue Sky account, So Longhorn fan battle will be on Blue Sky.
Yes,
So
sir.
I'll set that up. Actually, I'm setting it up as we speak, and once we get all the credentials, we'll tweet that out. Um, what are they called? Posts there? Like what are they called? Are they called
They
skies?
call them, I think they call them skeets.
Oh, yo, I love it.
I
That's
think they call them
awesome.
skeets. But yeah, again,
Go on, skeet at us, guys.
we appreciate you guys. Again, you can follow me at Tim Wayne on Twitter, at Tim Wayne on Blue Sky. Remember to continue to follow the podcast on YouTube and continue to follow us on TikTok. I'm gonna post a lot. I'm gonna update our TikTok tonight with the recruits because that's really big. That we are still flipping people from different schools and how we could end up with the number one, possibly the number one recruiting. Now, I've been hearing about that since Saturday, and that's very impressive. I think there's some information that's floating around. I know you have better relationships with some of these guys because you talk to them on a regular, and you interact with them more. Bourbon, besides me, I just kind of watch more and watch these guys, but I think there's some potential flips that we don't know about that are really, really big.
Yeah.
I think, and I don't know who it is, but apparently there's some potential guys out there floating around. At least you may know more than I do. That might be a conversation we need to have offline, but
Yeah, I mean,
supposedly,
a couple guys. Obviously, or not Michael Fasusi. Obviously, we got to keep an eye out on Michael Terry.
right.
So keep an eye out for him. Grayson Littleton, I didn't think was going to happen this soon, but it did happen, which is nice. Devin Sanchez is a name that came up today. He's the 5-star commit that's committed to Ohio State. Listen, I don't know what that looks like. I don't know if that's even possible. But I've heard his name kind of circulating around Twitterverse and some folks that I listen to.
Mm-hmm.
Keep an eye out for Devin Sanchez because if Texas can flip Devin Sanchez, now we're talking like number one recruiting class because you're taking a guy
Yeah.
out of the Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
You're taking a guy off of the Ohio State board there, right? So and you're adding
And that could be, I think that's an Anthony Hill Jr. type situation where that guy is an immediate plug and play type of guy.
Yeah, and then Riley Pettijohn, the commit that the linebacker that committed to A&M, there's talks that there might be flip potential there. So there's a couple guys that we were just going to keep an eye out on. Listen, I don't talk to these guys. I don't have sources or anything like that. There's just stuff that I'm reading. So this stuff may or may not happen, right? If it doesn't happen, like don't come crying at me. I just said, this is just what I'm hearing. This is just and when I mean hearing, I'm like, this is just what I'm reading.
Right. Nothing set in stone.
Yeah, nothing is set in stone. So if it doesn't happen, don't come tweeting at me like nothing I said, right? And we are now officially Blue Sky. So follow us on Blue Sky at LH Fan Battle. I'll go ahead and post that there, and I just created a post. Sorry, I just tweeted out on Twitter. I don't call them posts.
Sweet.
Follow us on Blue Sky. There we go. So we'll post on there as well. So hey, we'll check out what this Blue Sky thing is all about, and we'll just kind of go from there.
Yeah. Where can they find you at, Big Dog?
Yeah, you can find me at the Uncle Gandhi on Twitter. I guess I'll create a Blue Sky account as well.
It's just quieter. It's just a lot more quiet over there. I'm not knocking Twitter, but Twitter, like,
there's so much noise, man. And it's because we can talk about it offline.
Yeah, the political,
because of the guy who done the political stuff and the guy that bought it out is infested.
Literally ran the best app. That app has been top 10 or top 1 for 15 years.
Yeah,
and within a matter of a year 15, or two,
Yeah, he broke. But hey, don't worry. That's the guy that's gonna run our community of efficiency or whatever the fuck they call it.
Dog,
So
here you go. I wish I had my little pad right there so I could just fire off you shooting shots at
whatever
people.
whatever the hell he wants to call it. Those fucking idiot. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Hopefully we don't get in trouble for that. But hey, my name's Harish. This is my guy Tim Wayne. We out of here. Peace.
See you. Till Gabriel.
All right.
Go home. Touchdown like the end zone. When the circle turn to my home. Can't get me out of my zone. Go hard.